Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, free site, dwyervip.com, free site. Today is June the 5th, 2018. Let's talk the NBA Finals. Let's also talk some early NFL picks. But first, remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Let me just say this. I'm in the Bay Area, right? I've seen firsthand Golden State Warrior hysteria. Now, I'll agree, this team is one of the very best teams I've ever seen in my life. And they're deep, too. Their bench has some players who, in my opinion, would be getting a lot more minutes on other teams. Players like David West, for example. Look at his player efficiency rating. And just keep in mind, he's deep on Golden State's bench, right? There are guys like Sean Livingston, Andre Iguodala, JaVale McGee on that bench, right? For those who don't know, David West, according to the numbers, is an above average NBA player, well above average. And yet he's hidden on Golden State's bench, right? The team obviously has three of probably the league's top 5 shooters, right? If not the top 3 shooters. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson. Understand it takes a lot to hit 40% from 3. These guys have done it with stunning regularity in their careers. But different teams have different personalities. And to me, the Golden State Warriors are a second wind team. In other words, they know they're talented, but they aren't Jordan's Bulls. They don't come out determined to put their boot on your neck in the first quarter. They're not a team in the first half that comes out and decides, we're going to take the crowd out of the game. We're going to rip the heart out of our opponent. Now, every sport has teams like that, right? In the NFL, think the 1985 Chicago Bears. All I'm saying to you is this Golden State team is not that team. The bet I like in Game 3 of the NBA Finals are the Cleveland Cavaliers at home, getting 4.5 points. Understand, Cleveland has been here before. Hell, the last series against Boston, weren't they down 0-2? Playing Game 3 at home. Understand the level of passion of Cleveland fans, too. Many of them, when they don't get in the arena for playoff games, will gather outside the arena. Right? They back their team. This is not Miami, where fans are showing up in the second quarter, leaving at the end of the third quarter. No, this is a different culture where fans show up early. Right? You're talking about an underdog city that feels that they're never completely out of it. Let me also say, too, I'm sure Cleveland Cavalier fans and Cleveland Cavalier players know that what went down at the end of Game 1 was highly unusual, right? The referees overturning a charge, right? That's crazy, folks. Some of the calls. I was here at a Golden State Warrior bar watching the game. And even people in that bar wearing Golden State Warrior gear were puzzled at some of the calls against Cleveland. Right now, sure, J.R. Smith made a mistake at the end of regulation. It likely cost Cleveland the game. Also, Tyronn Lue has a timeout that he doesn't call. even though J.R. Smith gets the rebound and there's about 4 point something seconds left. All right, Cleveland made some mistakes too. But I believe the Cavaliers believe that they could have won. In fact, hell, they know they could have won that first game. Certainly George Hill knows it. He's on the line with another free throw attempt. Right? So to me, you have a Cavalier team that's very hard to discourage. Right? They're playing a Golden State Warrior team that they, quite frankly, don't like. You saw Tristan Thompson push Draymond Green away. You saw LeBron James having some words there at the end of overtime of Game 1 with Steph Curry. I think the Cavs come out inspired. I think Cav fans come out inspired. I'm stunned that the Golden State Warriors are 4.5-point favorites in this game. I expect Golden State to sleepwalk through the first half of the game as they always do. Only this time, when you get to the second half of the game, I feel that Cleveland, understanding that their season's on the line, there's a big difference between being 1-2 and 0-3 in a series. I'm expecting Cleveland to maintain the intensity, to survive Golden State's typical explosive third quarter, to actually play defense out on the perimeter against Steph Curry, right? And to actually come away with at least a cover, if not an outright win. I like the Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 3 getting 4.5 points. Let's shift to the NFL. You know what? Bargains, sales are often inconvenient. You have a few dollars in your pocket, you're thinking to yourself, you know what? I'm going to be responsible here. I'm not going to spend the money. I'm going to, use this funds for food, water, shelter, a graduation gift for somebody, right? Adult stuff, responsible stuff. The problem is then the casino puts up a line. That's just too much of a bargain. When they put up the sale price and you look at it and you realize, doggone it, I might never get this again. When the sale price is posted before key players have started playing in preseason, before the world realizes who Saquon Barkley really is, and when you're getting 4 points at home with him in your backfield, in my opinion, you have to rearrange your spending plans. You have to say, yes, in week 1 of the regular season, in the Giant opener, I'm going to take the New York Giants. The casino is going to give me 4 points to take that bet against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let me say this too. I know the Jags are an excellent team. I know the last time we saw them, it was in the AFC Championship game, and they had the Patriots on the ropes. We know all of that. But understand, the Giants are loaded. Last year, they had so many guys on the DL that you thought it was an episode of General Hospital. Well, those guys are now healthy. I'm expecting Odell Beckham, one of football's best wide receivers, to be healthy in there helping out Saquon Barkley. I'm expecting Saquon Barkley to be the real deal. I'm also expecting the Giants to want to play for their new coach. Understand, folks, it's an overhaul there. I'm expecting statements to be made. I'm expecting the Giants to cover the 4 points. So before this line dips, before we have a preseason game where Saquon Barkley goes left and goes for 70 yards, my recommendation to gamblers is to take the Giants right here, getting 4 points at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The next game that I think is a compelling value play that I'm suggesting gamblers consider. Right? I've taken the bet already. It's Tampa Bay on the road, getting 7 points, getting a full touchdown against a divisional opponent, the New Orleans Saints. Look, I know the Saints are badass. I got to tell you, I would have, and gambling has a lot of woulda, couldas in it. I would have made a lot of money if the Saints would have delivered last year in the playoffs for me. Right? That Minnesota Miracle there at the end of the game, let's just say, is not my favorite memory of the last betting season. But understand, this Saint team's going to be missing Mark Ingram for the first 4 games because he's been suspended. Right? Understand, too, in divisional games, if anybody in the league knows about Drew Brees, knows about Sean Payton, it's their divisional rivals who play the Saints twice every year. Let me also say, too, I know Jameis Winston didn't have the best year last year, but I'm a big believer of Jameis Winston. I believe the Bucs have a lot of talent, including at the quarterback position. So, the other early pick I'm making here in early June for the NFL season, and keep in mind, if there are injuries, if Jameis Winston gets hurt, if other key players get hurt, right? Saquon Barkley, Odell Beckham, you can go in and you can hedge the position. But right here, whenever the casino gives you a magical number of 7, this is one of those special numbers, I believe you have to take it in a divisional matchup where the favorite's actually missing a key player. So I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting 7 on the road at New Orleans week 1 of the regular season. Let's be clear here too. I'm talking about regular season games here, not preseason. I do bet on the preseason, but don't confuse what I'm saying here with a discussion on preseason games. When I say the New York Giants home opener, I'm talking about their regular season home opener, right? Likewise, I'm taking Tampa Bay over New Orleans, right? With Tampa getting 7 points in that regular season opener. That's how I see it. Let me hear from you if you want to comment on anything I've said. The Golden State Warriors, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the New York Giants, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Tampa Bay or New Orleans. If you have a special insight or your own set of numbers that you want fellow gamblers to consider here, then I hope you leave those comments in the comment section to this video. Thanks for stopping by.